Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Some of the world's largest companies still use estimates for parts of their Scope 3 inventory. So if companies with thousands of suppliers aren't working with perfect data, how are they improving accuracy every year? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll look at the practical steps mature Scope 3 programs take to improve data quality, reduce assumptions, and build confidence in their emissions reporting. One thing you'll notice along the way is that they're not trying to make every single number more accurate. They're focusing their effort where it actually changes business decisions. Let's get into it. One of the biggest differences between mature and immature Scope 3 programs is supplier segmentation. Imagine you have 8,000 suppliers. Would you ask all 8,000 for product carbon footprints? Probably not. Leading organizations usually split suppliers into groups: high impact suppliers, strategic suppliers, medium impact suppliers, and everyone else. High impact suppliers get asked for primary emissions data. For lower impact suppliers, secondary data or emissions factors are often perfectly acceptable. Accuracy gets prioritized where it delivers the greatest value. Another mistake organizations make is trying to improve every Scope 3 category at once, which is rarely practical. Instead, leading companies ask which category creates the biggest uncertainty. Maybe it's purchased goods, maybe transport, maybe capital goods. They focus improvement efforts on one category at a time, replace the estimates there, then move to the next. That's a far more manageable approach than trying to rebuild the entire inventory every year. Here's something interesting. In many organizations, a relatively small number of suppliers account for a large share of purchased emissions. So instead of emailing thousands of suppliers, many companies begin with 20, 50, or perhaps the top 100. If those suppliers represent 60 or 70% of purchased emissions, improving data from that small group dramatically improves the overall inventory. That's a much better return on effort than chasing every supplier equally. Another misconception is that better accuracy means collecting more information. Usually it means collecting the right information. Instead of asking suppliers to complete a 30-question questionnaire, leading organizations might ask just 4 things. Do you report corporate emissions? Do you have product carbon footprints? What renewable electricity do you use? Have your emissions been externally verified? Those answers often improve confidence far more than dozens of additional questions would. One supplier reports kilograms, another reports tons. One reports emissions from 2023, another from 2025. One reports corporate emissions, another reports a single product. All of those numbers might be correct, but they're not directly comparable. That's why mature organizations spend time validating supplier data before using it, checking reporting years, units, boundaries, and methodologies. Better inputs almost always produce better outputs. This is probably one of the biggest differences of all. Many organizations treat Scope 3 reporting as an annual project: collect data, calculate emissions, publish a report, start again next year. Leading organizations don't work like that. Supplier information stays connected to the supplier, historical responses stay available, and only the information that's actually changed gets updated. That saves an enormous amount of work every reporting cycle. Another habit of mature programs is measuring data quality itself, not just emissions. They don't only ask what their emissions are, they ask how many suppliers submitted primary data, how many estimates were replaced, how many suppliers improved their reporting, and which categories became more accurate this year. Improving data quality is a measurable outcome in its own right. This is one area many organizations underestimate. Supplier engagement works much better when sustainability isn't working alone. Procurement teams already have relationships with suppliers, discussing contracts, performance, risk, and quality. Adding sustainability conversations into those existing relationships is often far more effective than sending another email from the sustainability team. Leading organizations make Scope 3 a shared responsibility. And finally, perhaps the biggest lesson of all, no organization has perfect Scope 3 data. Not today, and probably not for a long time. The companies making the fastest progress aren't waiting for perfection. They're replacing assumptions gradually, improving supplier engagement every year, increasing primary data coverage, reducing uncertainty, and building confidence over time. Progress creates accuracy, not the other way round. Once accuracy improves, something changes. Scope 3 reporting stops being about compliance. Procurement can identify suppliers with the highest emissions. Category managers can compare suppliers with more confidence. Sustainability teams can measure whether supplier engagement is actually reducing emissions. And executives gain greater confidence in targets and reporting. Better data unlocks better decisions. So if you're looking to improve Scope 3 data accuracy, don't start by trying to improve every number. Start by improving your process. Segment your suppliers. Focus on your highest impact categories. Replace assumptions one step at a time. Validate everything. Measure data quality alongside emissions and involve procurement from the beginning. That's how leading organizations improve Scope 3 accuracy, not through one big transformation, but through hundreds of small improvements repeated every reporting cycle. If you found this useful, give it a like and subscribe for more practical guides on Scope 3 reporting, supplier engagement, and corporate decarbonization. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.